India didn't just get a decent deal, it got a better deal than Japan, better than South Korea, better than European Union, better than UK. India chose patience. When the pressure came, Delhi didn't fold. Modi's message was crystal clear. India is not desperate. India will not be armed to state. India will open up, but on its own terms. India is no longer treated as a side player in global trade talks. It is now seen as essential to supply chains, technology cooperation, clean energy, and strategic manufacturing. Namaskar, myself Deepak Kumar Rath. I welcome you to the digital media of Uday India. And in Bharatiyata Ka Sankanad, today I will speak in detail about the Indo-US trade deal. Friends, you all know that for decades, India was treated like a country that would eventually cave in, apply pressure, set deadlines, owe big promises, and Delhi will sign it. But Prime Minister Narendra Modi broke that pattern completely. In fact, he broke the tradition. He didn't rush, he didn't panic, he didn't negotiate from fear. He just stood there calm, unmoved like a rock, and let the world adjust itself. What people once called impossible has now happened. India didn't just get a decent deal, it got a better deal than Japan, better than South Korea, better than European Union, better than UK. Think about that for a moment. These are America's oldest, most trusted economic partners, and yet India, once seen as a hesitant, rule-bound economy, walked away with more room, more respect, more leverage. And imagine, the reason is simple. Modi refused to blink, while others rushed to sign and secure certainty. India chose patience. When the pressure came, Delhi didn't fold. Modi's message was crystal clear. India is not desperate. India will not be armed to state. India will open up, but on its own terms. Instead of putting all eggs in one basket, India quietly built options. Agreements with Australia and New Zealand strengthened supply chains and source access. FTAs with the European Union and UK sent a clear signal that India had alternatives and strong ones. America was no longer the only door, and once Washington realized that, India was perfectly comfortable waiting. The power equation flipped. What did India actually gain from this? First and foremost, policy freedom. India did not give away its right to protect farmers, MSMEs, data sovereignty, or strategic industries. Unlike others who locked themselves into tight commitments, India kept breathing space. That matters for a country that's still growing and transforming. And second, India gained market access without surrender. Indian professionals, companies, and manufacturers now have better global access, but without India dismantling its domestic ecosystem overnight. So this balance is very rare. India got it because it didn't negotiate with begging bowl. And third, and most importantly, India gained status. India is no longer treated as a side player in global trade talks. It is now seen as essential to supply chains, technology cooperation, clean energy, and strategic manufacturing. This is not charity. This is simply recognition of India's weight. The economic benefits will show off over time. Higher exports, strong investor confidence, deeper manufacturing integration. But the real victory is psychological. India has set the old mindset of sign fast or lose out. It has shown that saying no is not weakness. Sometimes it's power. Critics will complain as usual. They will say India waited too long or missed early opportunities. But history doesn't remember who signed fast. It remembers who changed the terms. Modi didn't just sign deals, he changed how India dealt with. By refusing to move when pushed, Modi forced the world to move towards India. That is not just diplomacy, that is self-respect. And that self-respect finally translated into policy. So that is what India shows its mighty or shows its power, and ultimately India won. That's all for today. Stay tuned with Uday India and subscribe to Uday India. Bande Mataram.